You're listening to I-95, Bangor's classic rock station with Jay, Stu, and Corey in the morning. Jay, Stu, and Corey rock.
And Corey on Bangor's classic rock station at 95.7 FM. We're here just chilling out in this lovely studio, watching the world go by, and waiting for computers to do their stuff. But, you know.
What are you talking about? They are doing their stuff. They're going to take over the world, Jason.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
You know, I'm of that camp. I'm very selfish because I don't have kids, right? So whenever they're like, I mean, I don't want bad things to happen in the world, but like, they're like, oh, someday, I don't know, the sun's going to blow up. I'm like, whatever. I'm like, I won't be here. So.
Yeah. Yes, that's definitely an I don't have kids statement.
Oh, yeah. I got family, but I don't have any kids. So
and it's different.
Blow
it's
it
weird
all up.
when you've created something and you're like, don't die, please don't die, please don't die. And then the world is impending doom and you're just like, oh God, how do I fix this? That's my brain all the time, by the way. Explains a lot, doesn't it?
I guess.
A little bit.
Sure.
Yeah. All right.
What is this
it's two
silly
for Tuesday.
matchup? Yeah. What do we got going on here?
We got a dirty matchup. Are you kidding me? You want a dirty white boy, so I was like, all right, fine, talk dirty to me. So there we go. That's our matchup today.
All that works.
Dirty it up.
We can do that. You know where to vote. We got that. That must be up on the Facebook page already.
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, 9919713. We started our codes yesterday. That was exciting.
You know what?
What?
It's funny because we got some feedback on that. You and I, we repeat them all the time, twice an hour, I guess. Not everybody does. And people were like, well, I need that reassurance at the end of the hour. I need to know that I got the code right. And I agree. I think sometimes people get a little freaked out when they don't hear it the first time. But we're on it. You and I, we're doing our thing.
I'm not worried about it. They'll win. They'll all win. We're all winners on this station. So don't you worry. Let's get the votes in. We'll get it going and see who is victorious at the end of the hour. Will it be Poison? Will it be Foreigner? You decide. I-95. I-95, Bangor's classic rock station. Jay, Stu, and Corey here today. It is a lovely Tuesday. It's I lied about earlier. The sun's trying to do something, and that's all we need. We just need it to try a little so we can feel good about it. I went ahead because I'm a ruiner.
You are.
I don't think there's any
you could be
argument
a professional ruiner.
Oh yeah,
you're so good at it.
I decided to look at the extended forecast for next Monday for the eclipse.
For the eclipse, yeah.
Yeah. Right now, totally getting mained.
See, I think people should know about that in advance and then go somewhere else.
Yes, just go somewhere else.
Go somewhere where you might have a chance to see it. Otherwise, we're going to have a bunch of really mad people, and it's like we didn't control the weather.
No, and a lot can change in a week. That could bump over a day, ahead a day, whatever. But right now, it's what's interesting is the days on either side of it, ironically, because, again, Maine, look pretty good. Like Sunday not looking too bad. Tuesday not looking too bad. Like somewhat sunny and in the 50s, not too bad. So if it could just kind of shift one way or the other for a day, and give us this blessed eclipse, that would be a wonderful thing. Otherwise, it's just going to be like any other Maine day.
Well,
Mother
I'm
Nature
not
going,
surprised.
Oh, you got a little event planned? Oh, let me ruin it.
Yep, exactly. Well, I got my glasses. I'm ready.
Yeah, my wife got me some glasses. I've got a stack of black drum heads that I keep around for just such an occasion. Mm-hmm. Because they're, I figure by the time you put together like 4 of them, you're at like welder's goggle status.
So you're going to be out there with just giant drum heads in front of you.
I'll probably put on the glasses because it's easier. My wife got me some.
I was going to say.
Everybody's like, where are you going to go for the eclipse? I'm like, on the deck.
Yeah, I know. Home.
That's it. I'm not going anywhere.
Nope.
I got to figure, we weren't nowhere near the path of totality in that 2017 eclipse. Mm-hmm. And even that was fairly impressive for where we are. Right. So I figure even though, I'm not in, Millinocket or Holton or whatever, I'm still going to get a good view right from where I am. Especially that time of day. It's like 3 p.m. or something, which is usually just like bing right above my house.
Mm-hmm. So. It's usually coming directly in my face at that point from across the street. So I have to close the shades right around that time.
Perfect. You can just stare out the window at the eclipse.
Pretty much. I'm going to sit in my living room and watch it from the neighbor's yard because that's when it comes and beams me in the face typically. It's true. I literally have to usually around that time. I'm like, someone get up and close the shades, please. It's getting me in the face again.
There you go.
So
this time you can just sit on the couch, slap on those little ZZ Top glasses, and let it rip.
It's going to be me from my couch. I'm not going anywhere. Are you kidding me? I don't want to be with a crowd full of people and the frenzy that might be. I'm a curmudgeon already, ready to go.
There you go. I haven't heard you say a good word about this eclipse since it was announced like 3 years ago. So I feel like you've never been on board the entire time.
I think it's great. I'm also, again, I grew up with the X-Files, so I want to know what's going to go wrong. I'm usually Captain Optimist, right? Like I'm all about the things that go right, but I don't know. I don't trust people and their people-y things, and when they all get together.
There you go. So a completely unrelated heavenly event in the skies is enough to set off Corey's internal fire alarm about what bad things may happen.
Yep.
Anyway, if you're more than welcome to tell us what you're doing for the eclipse. 9919713. We're going to wrap up this battle right now, though. We're on the home stretch. Get them in because last I heard, it was a tie.
It is.
So let's break that tie and wrap up the matchup on I-95. I-95, Bangor's classic rock station, 95.7 FM. Foreigner takes the top spot by a squeak. Like, there it was.
Like 2.
That was crazy. Yeah. Good votes. We had some votes on the phone. We were talking to one guy who was telling us that he was headed straight up north into the belly of the beast for the eclipse. And someone else chimed in on Facebook and it was just like, nope, screw that. Bunch of selfish night watching tourist types, drinking all the water, peeing in all the bathrooms.
Yeah. I'm with that guy. Like for grand total, like 3 minutes. That's what makes me laugh. I'm like, okay, 3 minutes. You're going to spend all that money on like plane rides here, gas, to watch 3 minutes worth of stuff.
Well, look, I mean, it's not, you're not likely to have an event of that magnitude again in this location. Look, the tourist part, I don't entirely get, because, I guess if you're nowhere near the path of totality, you want to be where it is. I guess I can appreciate that. For us that live here, I can see why you'd want to get a little closer to the action. But at the same time, I think it's going to be so impressive, again, right on my back deck. I'll just be like, wow, look at this heavenly madness. All right, pup, let's go in.
Yeah, like space chasers. I could do space chasing from my yard. Yeah. My neighbor Kurt's got this cool telescope thing.
Now,
I mean, if we didn't chase space, we could do it there.
Yeah. On the other hand, I feel like this is a chance for some of those northern businesses, up through Holton and up into Mars Hill and stuff that kind of lost out on some of that winter money. I think this is at least a little opportunity to not make up for it by any stretch of the imagination, but add a little extra at the end of the season.
I just hope whoever comes into town is respectful of that, and that's I guess where I'm jaded. It's like reading some of the accounts of some of the other towns that this has happened to before. I'm not looking forward to that bullcrap. I want them to get the dollars in there, and I want them to and to help the economy, absolutely. But I don't know. There's so many people who I feel like needed to be raised better. They come in and are just like, here's my trash. Here, I'm going to be rude. And it's just like, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. That. I mean, I think your opinion is it won't matter.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm very much aware of that.
They're going to show up anyway. They're going to do their thing. I would like to think that a bunch of sun watchers overall might be a little more respectful of what's going on than, say, like a
Like concert goers? Like Lollapalooza goers? Yeah,
exactly.
That's just what I'm worried about. Like, I don't want to have them, like, wreck our stuff.
I'm not saying there won't be some of that, but I would like to believe that it's, you know, like a cross-section of people that would, you know, if you're here to witness this wonderful, you know, thing in the sky, that maybe you wouldn't be like, oh, I'm just going to leave this plastic bottle in the mud with a cigarette butt in it. You know, hopefully you're not that person. But I'm sure there'll be some of that, and then, you know, whatever. It is what it is. Either way, it's Eclipse-y.
It's Eclipse-y. Yeah.
It's the apocalypse.
Uh-huh. Man, everybody's posting these sweet pictures, speaking of apocalypsing, of these beautiful sunrises. I don't see the same colors they do outside my window. Are you seeing them?
No. All I see is like blinding white and clouds.
Yeah, I'm not seeing the beauty.
So good for them.
If you have the beauty, you can share it with us. Don't forget, you can send us a little picture. Actually, Jimmy did send a little note from Florida. Again, check it in.
Yeah,
he says
that
good morning
count.
to us. I love Jimmy and Ian are like, it's 80 degrees down here. And we're like, yep, it's 32 here. 35.
Yeah,
woo!
It's 85 minus 50. Thanks. That's how we count degrees around here. All right. When we come back, you know, there is plenty to talk about this morning. We also have our first code in the 8 o'clock hour as we get ready to assault the vault. So plenty to do here on I-95. I-95. Jay Stu and Corey, Bangor's classic rock station. So I tell you, you and I were just talking about this off air. I just can't believe it's like we've waited. Now this bad weather's coming in. So Rennie's is going to wait a day or 2 days or whatever?
I think they're smart.
Of course
Thursday
they are.
was supposed to be the big grand opening of Rennie's in Bangor, and they got the sign in yesterday. I went over and took a look at it. Everything looks all spiffy. They've got the sign on the building now. I mean, and it was funny when I went to go take pictures of the sign yesterday, there were plenty of people who parked in the parking lot thinking the place was open and went right in. So,
walk right in. They need like a security team in there, like, get out!
So they've got fun things planned for their opening, like raffles and things like that, as you often do, and then a ribbon cutting. But they were going to have all this happen on Thursday, and obviously nature is not having it. She's ruining everything. So they have delayed it by a day. So everything that was planned for Thursday, still happening, just happening on Friday.
Well, it makes sense. I mean, look, Rennie's knows people will go on that main adventure in a snowstorm just to be the first ones in the store because they want to be, you know, like. I don't blame them. It's fun. It'd be like, I want to be the first one to Rennie's. And it's a smart move for the safety of their customers to just push that back. Well, of course the employees first. But businesses usually think of their employees. But I think this is also a case of thinking of your customers, too. Because like I said, people will come out, excuse me, even if there is a giant snowstorm. So I support this move 1,000%.
I do too. And that's what they just wanted to let people know not to be silly, not to come out just for shopping during a nor'easter, although, you know, Maine. Yeah.
Well, you know, it's funny because along those lines, I also saw on our website the cruel irony that the Bangor City parking ban ends.
Yes.
Right before we get this huge nor'easter. It's just like, what?
Now, the thing about that is there is an ordinance built within, or there's a section of the ordinance that says, hey, guess what? We know we live in Maine. Even though the parking ban is officially lifted, we still reserve the right to call an audible. So I have a theory that they're going to probably do that.
So for the layman out there, it just means they can put the parking ban back on.
Yeah, pretty much.
They're just
that
like,
one.
Yeah, that happened. No.
I thought that was hilarious, though. They had to actually say on there, this is not an April Fool's joke. And then I double-checked to make sure within the city website, like, nope, this is right. This is the day that it ends. It's officially done.
Well, and it's not like we're just getting another, I say we are or we aren't. That all remains to be seen on Thursday, but this isn't just some, we're getting a couple inches of snow and they're changing their minds. No. If anything...
It's a dumping.
It better be, because there's been a whole lot of this. It's gotten worse over the last few years, this like meteorological hysteria. Like, let's way over dramatize what's about to happen, blow it way out of proportion. Then the storm shows up and it's like, oh, hey, look at that 4 inches of snow we got.
Yeah.
That's tough. I mean, yesterday in the forecast, Todd Simcox wouldn't even mention what the amounts
I know.
were.
He's like, I'm done forecasting.
Emily Hillman didn't hers, but literally she said it could be anywhere from, I think it was 4 to 18 inches, depending on.
That's a lot. That's a big stretch. That's a foot plus.
I love that there is an accurate meme. It says Maine winter forecast. It shows the state and it says 0 to 78 inches.
Yep.
That is a forecast, I believe.
I agree with you there. That's representing. Yep.
Yep. We can expect that on Thursday, somewhere between 0 and 4 feet. I'm down. We can operate that way. Those things are up. The thing about Rennie's and the thing about the parking ban, especially if you need some more info about the parking ban. It's all up at i95rocks.com, the app. I-95, Jay Stu and Corey on Bangor's classic rock station. That was like revisiting the morning music matchup a little bit.
A little bit.
It was Poison and Foreigner again.
Except not the dirty songs.
No, nothing competitive this time either. There was no fight. It's funny because I was telling you off air earlier this morning, my stepbrother does those 80s cruises. Mm-hmm. Like he performs. He's some of the entertainment, and he sent me a picture of him and Lou Graham chilling out on the cruise. I was like, "What? Get out of here! What is this all about?"
All right.
It's like, oh, all right. You hang out with famous people. I hang out with Corey.
Oh,
same thing.
Whatever.
Same thing.
Yeah. A friend of mine went on the cruise. Didn't realize that the lead singer of Korn was on there, so she kept meeting this guy with the big dreads and stuff in the fruit line because apparently he was maybe vegetarian. I want to say she was as well. So she's like, "Yeah, this big tall dude." Just he's every time I go up for fruit, like he's there too. And I was like, snap a picture and let me know who it is. And I was like, do you know who you're talking to? She goes, no. I'm like, look up the band Korn, and then ask him if he's enjoying his grapes. Like
his grapes.
Yeah.
He sounds like Captain Caveman, remember? or the Tasmanian Devil.
Yes. Yeah.
I always figured that was the influence for Korn.
That year that Willem Dafoe ended up at the folk festival and people like snap pictures, like you never know who's going to show up next to you. That's why I'm like, I'm not fazed necessarily by celebrity at all because I'm kind of like, they're people.
Yeah.
They're just people. And when people think that we are, like when we went to the Crazy Train thing, it was funny and everybody thought my friend Aaron was you. It's like, people don't realize like we're just people. I mean.
I guess. I'm just a person. Dog poop sticks to my shoe just like yours.
Exactly. We're just rocking out like you. We don't think ourselves any higher than anybody else. So
if I see famous people in a room, I actively avoid them.
Do you?
Yep. I don't want anything to do with talking with them because no matter what I say, it's going to be awkward.
Yep.
I have nothing to contribute to a conversation. Sometimes it accidentally finds me, and that's always weird. Like I was standing in line with 20 years ago, Anthrax came to Russell's here in Bangor, right? I drove all the way up from Portland with friends, and we're standing in the line at the meet and greet. Everybody's getting things signed, and I happen to have both my hands on the table, and you could see my Simpsons sleeve, right? And Charlie Benante, the drummer for Anthrax, just stops everything. He goes, "Excuse me, sir, I don't want to bother you." He's like, "But could I look at your tattoo?" And I'm just like, "Sure you can, Charlie. Here you go." I was just like, I couldn't even talk. I was just like, Charlie Benante wants to look at my tattoo. I can quit. I'm done.
Yep.
Same thing happened.
Everything with me is awkward, 100%. So whether you're famous or not, I'm going to make it weird. So I'm not worried about that. Like, it's what I do.
Years ago when Twisted Roots opened for Ozzy Osbourne, Ozzy's drummer, Mike Borden, who was one of my favorites, he used to be in Faith No More and stuff, he starts walking up toward our table. He goes, "Hey, guys," and way too loud I go, "You're Mike Borden." And I was just like, wow, if I could just crawl inside my shoe right now, that would be awesome. So. But he was really cool, too. So, but yeah, otherwise I will actively avoid people like that. I will just do my best.
Maybe that's why people don't, because I've had people go, "Oh my God, I think I saw her at the grocery store." Like, later on, I'll be like, I saw you that one time. And I was like, why didn't you say hello? And they're like, ugh. And I was like, it doesn't. I like people to be friendly. Like, I know you aren't the most people-y of people, so like you're a little more shy. Maybe don't come up to you and say something. But I'm all about like giving hugs and saying hey. And people are like, no. And I said, is it my face? Because I emit that like get away from me look.
Resting bitch face? Is that what you got?
I think it's not even that. It's just resting like F off face. And I don't want that to be the case. But it is. It's just my thinking.
Perfect. All right. 1 hour from now, we're going to assault the vault. It's time to get those codes rolling. So listen up for that. That's coming up next hour on I-95. Oh, I have such spring hope right now when I look outside. It's like, the sun's trying to come out. It's going to be warm today. And I just can't believe what's about to happen to us.
You gotta get it in your gut. It's gonna happen.
There's plenty in my gut. Don't worry.
My kids, it was funny. The last couple of days, they've come in and we have like one Alexa in the house that's up in my son's room, and they'll take off past me. I'm like, "Where are you going?" And she's like, "Ask Alexa what the high is for the day." Like they've just made their decisions on clothing based on that now. Like they just go ask what the high is, and they'll come downstairs and like, Alexa says 50, so I'm going to wear shorts. I'm like, all right, whatever. And I told you yesterday, one of them got stuck in a tree in shorts. Now I'm like, don't you regret that? Because she's all like cut up on her legs and stuff.
When I was a kid, it was all about the weather phone. It didn't give the current temp, but you could get the forecast for the day. I wonder if it still exists. I won't say the number out loud, even though I remember it vividly, just in case it's someone's actual phone number now and it doesn't exist. But when I moved to Portland, there was a sweet little deal where you could call 7754321, and it would give you the time and the temp. So you'd be like, it's 3:41 and it's 72 degrees. Boop. And then it would just do it again 15 seconds later. But, when I was in the old days, you'd see commercials for it on TV for the Bangor weather phone, and you could call it up and get the forecast.
Because of now, like the creation of apps. I'm reading this right now, and it looks like apps have kind of taken over. There are still some, and the weather phones were put out by like the National Weather Service, so for different places. But I don't think they have been. I don't think they're still around.
Yeah, but that's like some serious old school Bangor stuff. Dialing that up.
It wasn't just Bangor, but it was all over the place. You could call anywhere.
Oh yeah. Well, but Bangor had its own, or Bangor had its own, and I feel like it was through WABI actually.
It could have been.
And it was because it was a specific Bangor number. Like I said, I'd say it out loud, but it could be someone's phone number now, and I don't want to get people to just be like, I'm going to call it for fun.
There are still weather phones in existence in certain places like Wilmington, Wilmington, because of the Amish communities there. They'll still call and get the forecast.
Oh, sure. So that makes sense.
They don't have apps, obviously, so yeah. But I guess the guy behind the weather phones, his name is Keith Allen. He's 82, and he actually does the recordings for weather phones. So
it's gonna be cold.
Oh, God.
Because that's what 82-year-old men sound like, apparently.
Yep.
Anyway. Oh, the weather phone. How I miss you. Let me count the ways. I wish I was young again. But get ready for that little nor'easter coming tomorrow night into Thursday. It's going to be fun. We'll have the forecast again a little while later from now in the next hour, where you will also start to get your first code when we assault the vault here on I-95.